Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show. I am your host, the big guy, Ryback. Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone is having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, wherever you are at. Right now, we are streaming live on TikTok and Instagram, the big guy, Ryback22. Thank you to everybody on those platforms, guys. We're on YouTube at RYBACK30. Super chats are always greatly appreciated and brought up in between taking calls on the show. Guys, we're streaming live on Facebook at Ryback Reeves and Twitch at Ryback Rules. We are live today at Real Ryback. We're doing my backup account. We're doing a little experiment. We'll see if we get people in here. I just want to kind of do something to show everybody the reach that it will get on an account with 1,000 followers or just under 1,100 followers or somewhere in between that. Compared to my 1.35 million where the show's not being distributed out despite actually great engagement with people that are seeing it or tuning in. It's about 1 in every 10.5 people engage with the show, which is fantastic on that. So that alone, this is just for posting further proof for everyone that something is not right and things are being held back on the account. There's no reason that show is not getting distributed out to 6 figures every single day. Every day, easily should be going out to hundreds of thousands of people on that and getting way more listeners. But what they are doing is suppressing me, and they have done this for many years. And I can tell you guys, and I get very cocky with this because I know there's nobody else that would have survived doing what I'm doing. They would have given up. But I have thrived and I've continued to grow because I do not get embarrassed by it. I do not stop because I know how apparent it is. I know how evident it is. I know what's going on. And there's a lot going on with things. So there's stuff I can't talk about on certain things, but it's going to get fixed at some point. But we're going to see today. So if you could retweet the spaces out for the listeners that get it, hopefully we can get some of our regulars on the regular Ryback account to know that we're over here today and see if we can, because I really want to show the distribution on an account with 1,000 followers, and not to say that they can't be doing anything to this account, because if they're suppressing that one, they could very easily just do it to this one. But I've shown you guys before, the reach on this account has been actually better than the reach on my other account on different occasions, which should never happen with that. So, but thank you guys to everybody on Twitter at Spaces, X Spaces. If you want to join the show today, guys, on the other platforms, call in at Real Ryback on Twitter, my backup account. Follow that one if you want as well. If you don't want to, but you could join the show and call in from at Real Ryback today. The show's available on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. Guys, if you can leave a star rating and write a review, thank you. This show's brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line. Oh, I forgot to shut my notifications off. My premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, for all people, men and women, he, she, and thee. Feedmemore.com. All right, let's get going. Kick things off. Yes, Master Splinter in the chat. This is the People's Podcast. Yes, I like a lot of the comments. I have an app that lets me go through and like the comments at a really rapid pace on YouTube, guys. And, I try to just show you guys. It is, again, for further proof, too, that the account being suppressed, that I'm highly engaged with my followers. I've responded to certain comments. I've liked every comment ever left on my YouTube, ever. I've made sure, because I want no stones unturned when all this comes out, that what they have done and how I've not let it stop me with anything. And I just go the other direction with it. I go, oh, you guys are going to try to stop me? I'm going to go the other direction even harder. We've got a super chat coming in here. Ragav Chalwa, thank you. Just saw The Dark Side of the Ring about Hogan at Bash at the Beach 2000, and it's incredible. Just so much crap in the wrestling business. Yeah, I don't know what that had to do with or what it's about, or for that matter, if it's even true with that. That's the other thing. Just because you see something on TV does not necessarily make it true either. You've got a bunch of guys that just do stuff to make money typically on that. That's not to say, or they're giving certain people's truth, their version of the truth, and they're not getting everybody's version of the truth to fit the narrative of dark, right? That's what they're selling. They're selling that show is selling negativity with it. By default, I'm not a fan, just by default. Like, if I just think that's, of all the things you have a choice in life. You could sell the good or sell the bad. They chose to sell the bad at a lot of people's expense. So I don't care. I am not going to SummerSlam, Ashton. I don't know, man. I'm not going to Detroit. I'm not going to be at SummerSlam, guys. Multiple people asking. Thank you for swinging by on your lunch break. Good to see everybody. Let's get going today's show, guys. If you guys could retweet this show and let everybody know we're not at Ryback, we're at Real Ryback today. Hopefully we can get some people trickling on over in here. See how today's show does on the backup account. Hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hey, how's it going, Ryback?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Good, man. Yeah, I almost had a heart attack when I saw your thing on YouTube. I was like, oh, Ryback's like live, and I go to Twitter. I'm like, wait, what the hell is not on Twitter Spaces? And I was like, uh-oh. But then I realized you're on your other account, so I was like, that's good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying. I just want to show the distribution on the backup account compared to the regular account. As that the regular account should be way more than on this account, but I have a feeling this one will probably be more. We're very close.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. Like, even some your tweets, right? Like, it's not that I've it's not like I stalk your thing or anything, but I just know it's like when you tweet something, like it's like it barely gets you put some 2 hours ago, you get 28 likes. It's like, what the hell? Like
28 likes or one comment, and it's not being shown to anybody. And I post this. If it's like the same thing, I post a thing on Instagram with the same following. I have the same following pretty much on Instagram, and I'll get thousands of likes on something, and then on Twitter, it's not seen by anybody with it. And I've just done it. I'll make a post on all platforms that gets great engagement and on all the platforms, but Twitter, it doesn't do anything. It's just very it's beyond obvious. So it's something I just want people to be aware of it, because when it gets fixed, then more people are aware how long this has gone on for. So
I think I just think regardless, even if people that hate your guts and don't like you or not a fan, they should be able to tell, hey, he has 1.3 million followers, and he gets 28 likes. Does that not seem suspicious or something like that?
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. To me, it's just obvious, even if you're not a fan of Ryback.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. But I mean, what can you do? I just got to keep going. But it's it greatly hurt. It just diminishes my reach of everything that I do. So, which hurts revenue, which hurts money, which hurts business. And the longer that goes on, the worse it gets. So, but I've managed to make it work despite. So, but it is frustrating.
Yeah, no, for sure. I had a quick question.
Okay.
Just with your, I guess more of your personal life question. How's your dating life going, big guy?
The all personal life is great, brother. I don't talk about a lot of that stuff. I don't think that's the kind of stuff though that's really not anybody's business. There's a lot of people like that. Quite frankly, I find it a little odd, even asking that question. But it's beyond great. It always has been with that. So, but I don't. That's just something I don't think. It's like asking somebody, "Hey, what's your net worth?" There's certain things you just don't really. It's nobody's business, no matter what, and. Eventually get married. I'm not going to have that part of my life. I think even vocalized all that often. I just think there's certain things that people don't need to know.
No, fair enough. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. I just was just curious in general and stuff. But all good with that. But just had a quick question about that. But I hope you have a good day, man, and always appreciate coming on.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Yeah, I just don't really. I've always found that, I don't really know what to say to any of that. So I get it. Here's where it's like if I talk to Arnold and hey, Arnold, I'm just curious, what's going on in your love life right now? I can't even fathom. And I know you probably meant no harm, but it's just really odd, people. It's like, it's the same thing. Like, hey, I'm a complete stranger, but I want to know about your love life. Like, or hey, I'm a complete stranger. Can you show me your bank info? Like, that goes along with the chase the stalker shit a little bit, brother. Like, come on. Like him wanting, like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many other things going on in the world that is, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove Twitch off the thing because Twitch doesn't allow me to block the people on there. And I apologize. It's probably Chase over on the other account over there doing stuff. So we'll kick him off of that. And he's gone. So I apologize to the people on the chat. All right. Vinny, bring on Vinny to the show. Seems like we've got as many people in the show coming in as we usually do for my account with 1.35 million. Very odd. Very odd. Hello. Welcome to the Ryback show.
Hey, big guy. What's up?
Not much. How are you today?
I'm good. Big fan of the show. I listen every day. I met you back at the Baltimore Celeb Fest back in February. My friend actually interviewed you when you reposted it.
Yeah. Good deal. That was a good time out there.
Yeah, that was a good day. But I just got 2 quick questions for you.
Okay.
First question. Your match with Goldberg, wherever it's going to happen, WWE, AEW, Japan, are you going to be using meat on the table?
I don't own that. I don't own that song. So that's a WWE song on that. I have the version I have for this show, and I have a version that I could use that is.
Are you going to come out to that one?
It would. I don't have a definitive answer on that yet. There's a couple things I would want to try prior, and we'll see what happens. But the music will be a big part of everything. So.
Oh, okay. And second question: Why is Goldberg ducking the meat hook, man? I think he's scared of that meat hook.
No, these things take time. With this, there's no like rush of anything getting done. I think when we have a conversation and see if we can align our visions and see if this is something that could be done and where it can be done and what he like, ideally where he wants it, ideally where I would want to do it, and see if that's something that could be done. These like negotiations, they literally just started posting about this like 5-6 weeks ago is when I started all of it. Maybe close to 6 now. It was about 6 weeks, I would say. So, and that was with him not knowing that I gave it about 3.5, 4 weeks to see the buzz that we were getting, which we got good buzz with it. And then the guy that I'm going to have representing me I've reached out and we're getting all that in the works to hopefully get me and Bill to talk, and we'll see. There's no rush, obviously I wanted the time frame. Who knows, that could be, I don't know what he's thinking time wise. I know he's out with his son doing college recruitment for football going into a senior season here. So I would imagine that's probably his number one priority for going into his high school season, making sure his son Gage with all that. So it's just a matter of just getting down and having a conversation and seeing. But that, he's going to probably want time. I'm training and as if to be ready as soon as possible with everything. But that's something ideally you probably want 2 or 3 months in advance, probably closer to 3. So who knows? But that's a matter of, there's a lot that has to happen for that. He's not ducking anything with that. It's just a matter of getting down and seeing what we can get done. But
hey, I hope that Miho connects on him, man. That's a dream match for sure.
But we'll have to see what happens. All
right, big guy. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome, buddy. You have a good day.
You too.
Good deal. Thank you very much. Take a look at this account here. A little somewhat shady account. Let's go ahead. Let's live dangerously today. Jigga 2 times. Created in April 2023. What can possibly go wrong? Hello. Welcome to the Ryback show. You just got to turn on that speaker bottom left. Jigga, you got to just turn on the microphone on the bottom left. Okay, this is apparently Jigga's first time here on Twitter Spaces. We'll come back to you, buddy. We'll come back. No hard feelings. People on TikTok, appreciate everybody joining the show live. If you want to come to @RealRyback on Twitter Spaces, X Spaces, @RealRyback today to join the show. We'll bring in Jacob. And I got a super chat I missed here. Jake, thank you very much, buddy. I'll get to this in 1 second. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Hello. I just want to thank you for your commitment to yourself and not taking a backseat when it comes to WWE suppressing you. And you've always been a stand-up guy, and I just want to thank you for your commitment.
Jacob, thank you very much, man. I truly enjoy talking to good people, and I do enjoy the positive interactions with social media. So I'm not going to let them take that from me, So thank you very much.
Yep, that's all I really had, was to just thank you, man.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Well, you have a great day, and thank you again.
You too.
Good deal. Thank you, buddy. Jake Truman, hey, buddy. Just apologize, Ryback, for the inappropriate question about the personal stuff. It was meant to have no harm, and it was just a mistake. So apologies again, man. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, I just sometimes I don't understand, because it's like asking. I just think in general that's a good rule not to, even though I routinely will mention hear this or went on a date or do that. I don't really with that stuff expose those people or put them out there, and nor do I want, because here I'll tell you another thing, because the people are crazy when you post, or if you have somebody you're dating or seeing and then you post them, and then people, followers, wrestling fans, start messaging them and stalking them and doing stupid things with it, and I don't wish that upon anybody with it, and people, I've seen it. Even if I post a picture of a girl and it's just a friend or something, they start following and sending messages, asking questions about me. I just think it's just odd with it. So there's just things that you don't give people. You try to just, Gary Vaynerchuk's like that. He's married with his family and kids. He doesn't put them on, doesn't talk about them, doesn't do anything. Maybe a rare occasion he'll say something about his wife, very rarely, or for the longest time never did with that, and it's just because he doesn't want to bring him into all the BS with everything, Thank you, saying my traps are huge. I'm 300 pounds. I've been going to bed between 298 and 300. I'm very heavy right now, and still lean, very lean, but I'm getting ready. I'm going to try to go to it. It's hard, the amount of calories that I'm eating right now. I could eat a little more, but my body, I've got to get it used to eating the amount of carbs that I've been eating, but I have filled out, and I would like to do 310. It's very heavy. I could tell a difference being 300 from when I'm 285. I could definitely feel a difference. And my cardio, I do very hard cardio, and my cardio has stayed exceptional, but I'll have to take little breaks as my legs will get a little heavier. And then but I recover really quick with it. So I do extra rounds of conditioning and things, but I could just notice the breathing and everything. It is definitely the heavier you get like that, it makes a difference. But I've always been able to hold weight really easy. It's just there's a big difference between being 280 and shredded and 295, 300 and having a little bit higher carbohydrates and your glycogen stores being fuller and holding on to a little water. It's it feels amazing. And I'm it feels great, but it's also I can't wait to cut down also. But thank you, Jake. I know you from this show, so I know you didn't mean any harm by it. I just always, with people that you get the people that chase the stalker, the obsession with the things, and the obsession of not being married, weird things that that's what people like him, they obsess over every little detail of everything. Let's get this show. Let's get it going today, guys. Let's get it back on track. How are we going to do that? Shawnee time. Shawnee.
Big guy, happy Friday, big guy.
Happy Friday, brother. I've got a question for you.
Oh, wow.
we're turning the table.
No, so you bless us all with your presence on this show every day, and everybody, you're what we call a high spot in wrestling. You're a real high spot on this show. You bring up the mood, you bring the energy, which is why I like having you on. You seem like a really decent human being. You
Thank you, big guy.
You give us that Speedo pick yesterday with Zach, and you provide endless entertainment on this show. And then you like never cease to amaze me. You then you have a pro wrestling tee account with the shirt available. Is this correct?
Yeah, that is actually on the major pod. So when I made that's not my account. So like that money doesn't go to me. That actually goes to the major pod. So when I made the picture, Matt was like, do you care if I put this up for sale? And I said, absolutely not. I don't want anything from it. And he ended up putting it up. And it sold like crazy in the group. Like I met people, Kurt Hawkins, I'll send you the picture, but Kurt Hawkins ended up wearing it to one of our live events and surprised me by wearing it. It was like a huge pop. It went, bro, it was viral, like in the little wrestling community that we have.
Brother, so why I'm not even kidding you. I was at the gym and I was right before I was doing cardio. And I saw that you had the shirt and I retweeted it. I'm not even kidding. I was going to buy one if you had a tank top available. I was going to buy one of the tank tops, but there's not tank tops on it.
Oh, that's fair,
man. Can they get a tank top? Because I'm here's the deal. I'm not going to leave the house wearing it because it's a little much.
I know.
You take up the whole shirt. It's a very strong presence. It's not like even a small image. Like the image takes up the whole front of the shirt. So like I can't be going out in public with a huge, with a Shawnee and a thong on the beach with the foam finger and championship on there. Like people are not going to understand. But I like to wear the tank tops if I'm working out in my garage at home. I don't mind posting a little video for social media and giving Shawnee a little plug here, or doing the show in the tank top occasionally. But I'm not wearing shirts again right now, so I didn't want to get the shirt. I want the tank top. Can you put a word?
I'll ask the guy I know at Pro Wrestling Tees. I'll ask him if he could do that for me.
Even a one-off, just to get a one-off tank top, and I'll pay. Like even if I'll send you the money PayPal. Like I'll support, brother.
No, don't worry. I'll handle it, big guy. I appreciate it. Hi, can I have a number one, please? A number one large with a surge.
I want to do a feeding time in it as well, but I wanted when I have one of the chicks on the show, just wear that tank top and see what they say.
Cheese, please. Yes. I'm sorry, big guy. I'm at the drive-thru.
Oh, you're legit. Or I thought you were just doing a random order on the show. Like I was like, oh, that's a little off the wall. Brother, I didn't even know they still have surge available. I thought you were just like, I thought you had a flashback or something, and like we're giving it.
No, they have it in Burger King, brother, because they have. I'm sorry, I had to do that while I'm on here, but I just want. I didn't know how long it was going to take for me to get on, so I was in this long drive-through, and I was like, "Fuck it, just let me request it." But yeah, the only place in the world that has surge, big guy, is Burger King, because they have these Coca-Cola machines.
Yeah,
and it's like you could choose any drink you want, and Coca-Cola brought it back only in Burger King since like 2 years ago.
Holy, I had no idea. I used to drink the I'm not thinking of Surge. Maybe is it Surge or Vault Zero? The sugar-free energy.
So Surge is the first one that came out.
Yeah.
And Vault was the second one. They taste very similar.
That's what I used to drink the sugar-free ones. I remember when me and Cody Rhodes lived together, I always had like a 12-pack of the Vault Zeros or the Vault, the sugar-free ones, and drank those things like water. Like, God, I don't even want to know what like.
It's delicious, man. It's not the same, big guy, as it was before. I don't know if they had to change like the recipe or something. But yes, Surge was the first ever energy drink soda. And when I was like, I guess 12, that's when it came out, and I fell in love with it, and then it went away, and I was like, damn. And then a couple of years ago, they came back, like in cans and everything. They came back, and but it's not something you could drink every day because you'll die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
brother.
like,
Here's a true story. I was living with Cody Rhodes after I got released from developmental, and he'd asked me to move. He had a 2-room townhouse or a condo, and the guy that was living there got released and moved out. I had my studio apartment. I got released. Cody came over because we all were good friends and hung out every day and watched wrestling. He goes, "I want you to come live with me," and he goes, and so we reached an agreement, and I went and I moved all my stuff in eventually, and I would always have those vaults, but Cody, it was a weird dynamic because he was getting ready to go on the road, so he'd be gone for periods of time, and he had his dog. I would watch his dog. Dozer was a great dog, but Cody would play mind games sometimes for no reason. So one day, I'm not even making this is the craziness of Cody Rhodes.
I know you're not. That's why it's funny.
Cody, I remember I came out of so the day prior I was and I had these. This is what reminded me of this because I drank vaults like crazy during this period. Cody accused me of taking a bath. And I go, what? He goes, did you take a bath? And I said, what do you like? It was just the most awful. I go, I don't take baths. I go, when I was a kid, I did. I go, I just shower. Why? He goes, you sure you didn't take a bath? And I go, no. And like, so that's the end of the conversation. And like, I go about my business, go work out or whatever. And then the day goes by. The next day, I wake up and I go get a Vault out of the fridge in the morning before I made breakfast. And as I'm walking to go get the Vault Cola, whatever it was, I noticed that the bathroom, that there's like, the door is cracked where you could see in just enough, and that the lights are off, but all these candles were going. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I get the Vault, and as I'm coming back, and I like, Cody is taking a goddamn bath with candles. And like, I to this day, like it was like he accused me of taking a bath the day before, and like was very adamant. Like he's like wanting to know if I took a bath. And then the next day, I wake up to get this Vault, and Cody is in the bath with the lights off and candles going. I don't even know where he got the candles. He didn't have them before. And just like enjoying a long bath. And he was in there forever, Shawnee. And to this day, it was like one of those weird Cody Rhodes. Like he was like, I'm like, to this day, I don't have an answer what went through his head from accusing me of taking a bath and then him taking the bath with candles. And like, it's one of the weirdest interactions we've ever had. And I don't know. To this day, I'm baffled by it. But like, it was.
I don't know if you heard, but like Cody. Cardona and Cody are still like tighter friends, you know. And Cardona was telling a story that Cody, he has this thing called Cody lies.
Oh, 100% true. I've lived. Cody and Daniel Bryan together are the worst with it. They just make stuff up.
Yes, because he was calling Cardona a pecker checker and a stooge.
Yeah. This is where they will literally, this is one of the reasons I had to stop riding with them, and I love them. They would literally create the lies in front of me in the car, and like that they couldn't wait to get to the locker room. And I'm just like, I mean, like, you guys are ridiculous. But it's all in good fun. But it's like also,
it's all in good fun.
But they'll take something where it could possibly be true, where people aren't entirely sure, and then like, and it's. Yes, but the problem is it's always.
It's like a mind F.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But it's always really funny though. So like, it's always that's where it can be like, you think it's like pretty harmless, but like that's where they did that joke with Daniel and Cody came up with the thing that I took Cialis to impress Brock Lesnar in the locker room. Like, I'll never forget them being in the car coming up with this.
That's great.
And like, Brock wasn't even in the locker room with us, but they told the entire locker room that like I did that to impress. And I'm like, wait, what?
Bro, that is great. See, I love this. Like, natural conversation just because I ordered a surge. You know what I mean? I love that. I love it. Big guy, you know how I know that your account is frozen or whatever? Because that picture of me in this Speedo would have got like 1 million likes if that account was unleashed.
I no, but so the thing that should have definitely that's the kind of picture though that people would react to. Like then that like if I just randomly tweet
I'm
that,
saying it in jokes, but
it should have more though.
You know
but like even you like the people that hate me, I have so few people blocked in the grand scheme of things. It's like when the dirt sheets make a post and like a negative thing, and like all these people respond to it. Those people would be responding to mine if they like, but it's not being seen because that would if I was so hated within that within the walls of the internet wrestling community, they would be hounding me every chance they could get, but they don't see it.
Yep, absolutely.
But they hound like when other people make the post, they see theirs, so they make them like it's just crazy, man, on all of it. So, but the truth will win.
It's wild to see it in like real time because like now that I've been like following you and stuff, and it's like I see it, like like it just doesn't make sense. Like anybody with a half a brain can figure that out.
But like, why Twitter? Like Elon and that Linda lady, like they've never responded. Granted, Elon's doing but like they that Linda lady, you would think they would with an account because they typically respond to people with high follower accounts. You think they would have acknowledged me once in the last 8 months? Like you just think like they would say like, hey, let's look into this, but like nothing. It's just very odd, man. They close every case right away. They won't communicate, and it's like.
Do you think that they don't want to admit fault?
Yeah, I think they know. I think that's a huge part of it. I think they think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think if they do that, then they go, "Oh my God, this guy's account has been suppressed and restricted for 7.5 years illegally." Like that they're going to be. My thing is, why wouldn't you want to make that right and put? Okay, they took over. You put it on the past regime. My thing is, I always said, I think the honest thing to do with it is to acknowledge what has gone on and with this, and let the public and do a poll, whatever they think. What do you think should be done to right this situation, and let people voice their opinions on what should be what should be done to an account that has wrongfully been suppressed for 7.5 years. I don't even care if they tell me why it happened, but acknowledge it happened. Let's fix it. Show the people that it's fixed, and let people. What do you guys think should be the resolution on this? Because it's like that from a brand and financial standpoint. I don't know what kind of number to put on that. I just know it's done a lot of damage on that, but I don't know, man. It would be like, I just hope one day, like, it's just going to wake up and like, oh, I'm getting seen again by a lot of people. But because like what I'm doing now, it doesn't matter what I do right now. Nothing will ever grow or take off. It literally doesn't matter. Like it's just like spinning your wheels, but
which is terrible. Like,
yeah,
because like the show is really good, man. Like honestly, like I'm telling you, from somebody who's listening and a part of it, like I really enjoy the show, man. And I've gotten a bunch of friends to come on and watch because I told them how much I love the show, and they love it too. So I know I'm not crazy for liking the show. It's a great show, and
thank you.
And it's because of you. It's because of who you are as a person, and it's just the haters that are out there that they just don't know the truth, and
but they can't hear the truth either because the truth is being suppressed.
They can't hear it, yeah.
And that's where
they're refusing to hear it.
But that's the other thing, and all they see is negative, negative, negative. All the other stuff, and like they're not exposed to it. So it's like that you do that for 7.5 years, and you get a lot of damage, is what you get out of that. And that's
I know the guy before that asked you about the dates. Like I know he didn't mean to hurt.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
so just. Yeah, guys, don't talk personal questions, but
that's just common sense. So I feel like I
go on dates.
The what? Wait, what'd you say?
I said, do you powder your balls
before
you go on dates?
But that's just like asking. Like it's just like there's just certain things you don't.
I had to.
No, but you do. You know what I mean? Like with people, it's like it's just crazy.
I agree with you because you're right. Once you it's so nuts. Thank God, a big guy. I'm not famous. Like I think that it's a curse and what is it? What do they say?
A curse and a blessing. A blessing and a curse.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, because like honestly, like I can't imagine that, man. Like I feel so bad. Like I literally like. I went back and I re-listened to all the shit with Voldemort and like what the things that he was saying and like, you know, like everything. And I'm like, this is like, and don't get me wrong, like there's parts that are funny, but like then like when he was serious for like 15 minutes of that conversation that I listened to. Yeah. And I'm like, this is like a demented human being. Yep. Like this is somebody that should not be living with other human beings out there, you know?
By the way,
it's just scary.
I wouldn't interact that. Yeah, I saw you reacted to that blue Ryback. That's possibly him as well. Just so you know.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
but he's crazy. He's so in what he's done. You know that he pretending to be the females on Twitter. He actually he listened to us the other day. Remember when I told that kid that was screaming in the background, "Oh, that kid's hungry," and I was joking around with it. He literally went off on that. If you go read it under one of his the fake Latina account that he's pretending to be. It's like crazy when you how his mind works on like you're not dealing.
What the hell is wrong with these people, man?
But that's the level that we're playing with on it, and there's nothing that you could do that this guy like he is incapable of living a life and not thinking about me, and then he's also just obsessing over everything, but he doesn't process things the right way. He processes them in like
the biggest pop ever was when you said. What do you have against Ultimas? I don't think people realized how funny that was in the moment.
I
literally laughed so hard.
Other wrestlers have messaged me.
He's so mad at you.
Yeah.
He's so mad at you. He wants you to blow back at him. And like you said it so nicely. You were like, well, what's the problem you got with Ultimas?
Great cars. I don't understand the bias again.
It's a great car.
Brought it up. That was a very reliable, great car. My sister still has it to this day. So it's still running strong. Like the car has come through huge. And he had a huge problem with it. I get messages from the other wrestlers that have listened and they just go, how did you keep your composure? And I'm like, you don't understand. I know what I'm dealing with. And like those phone calls, like that, trust me, I go, I remember every little thing. I go, I'm going to be seeing him and that is all going to be addressed at the right time in the right place. I have to let the professionals handle this to get this guy locked up for good and put away. Cause like, I have to. I cannot let this human being.
If you didn't handle it the way that you did, he would have never doxed himself.
Yeah, no, it's we did what we had to do. Like, and it was, but that's why he's not on. We've got everything we need, and I don't need to ever let him come on ever again.
Exactly.
With any of that, so.
But yeah, like Big Guy, what is your favorite R&B group growing up? Do you what kind of music do you listen to, Big Guy? Like, what's your favorite?
I have a wide array. Like I'm a big '90s guy though too. I love though like Limp Bizkit, like that era, like of songs.
Yes. Like 182. You like?
Oh yeah, I listened to all of them in high school. Yeah. loved Blink 182. But I have like
realize that their album Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. You know, I was like 25 years old when I realized what it actually meant.
Bro, how about here? I'm going to get you another thing to baffle you. Do you know who the voice of Gizmo was in Gremlins?
No, who?
Howie Mandel.
No way.
That I just saw. He was supposedly the voice of Gizmo in Grem. It was one of those posts. You're today years old when you find out that Howie Mandel was the voice of Gizmo. And I go, I have not 100% fact checked that, but it seemed, but from the comments of the post,
but it seemed legit. Yeah,
it seemed, and that would be a weird thing to make up a lie about.
Surprised me, but. Because he's so like he has like a weird voice, you know, like he has like a strange kind of voice.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Wow, I found something out yesterday that blew my mind. Did you ever see Hocus Pocus on Disney, the movie?
I've heard of it. I probably have seen parts. I don't know. I can't specifically tell you.
So the guy that played he was like a walking zombie that was like a good guy. He helped them, and his name was Billy. And the guy who played him, he played like all these legendary like horror people.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't believe it. It was like I think I get hit with one of those like once every week. Like, I can't believe I didn't know this.
I was at a convention a couple years ago. I did like a group of 3 Comic Cons with this group. They brought me out to like 3 Comic Cons towards the end of the year, and before I hadn't done anything prior to that for like a couple years, and it was a good little time. But I was in the catering, and they like, when you do those Comic Cons, you're around, like, I was sitting at a table like with one of the guys was the voice of Mario, and like it was like the guy, yeah, and I'm like just eating lunch with the voice of Mario, like the child. I'm like, this is crazy, like how you
that is so cool.
But those Comic Cons, you meet people like that you grew up, like you're like the guy that was played, Freddy Krueger or Jason, and they're just walking. It's just like, whoa, like this is, or the Power Ranger people. They were at all of them. It's like and me and one of the guys
so cool.
that I remember watching growing up, and like he's older, and like, but he was like drinking really heavily, like, and they were partying, like you could see he was just like hitting the Comic Con rounds, and like he had a routine down of like, and it was like hard partying, and like they were at the hotel bar all night, and I was like, it was just work for me. I was like, but I was the only one that was up early and there on time, and everyone else was like 2 hours late, coming in like just smelling like whiskey, just like maybe a quick doused off in the shower and rinse their face off, and like in with the clothes they wore the night before. And I go, man, I can't be having. I don't want people meeting me like that, because I think like
I get it. So I have a story. Like, I'll tell you a quick story about a con. So I don't go to those cons a lot because I don't like crowds. Like I told you, like I'm really like anti crowds. And I went to WrestleCon when Cody came back in Texas at that WrestleMania. WrestleCon was at a hotel right near there, and the Major Pod boys had a live. They have a live show everywhere, like the Thursday before the Mania in that city. So all some of the major marks will travel, like myself, and it was in Texas. So we go. I stayed at the WrestleCon hotel, and I didn't expect like all these wrestlers to be there, right? I'm like, I expected them to stay at like a different hotel or something. So I go in. I get to Texas around like 11 o'clock at night. I roll in, and I roll in. There's a bar to the right.
I'm picturing you literally rolling, like on the ground, rolling into the bar.
Big guy, I was like roly-poly-oly. I was like, I put my hands on my head and my head on my knees, and I just rolled myself.
Just roll, just side rolling. Stop. You remind me of Chris Farley so much, though. I picture you just have a little too much to drink, and you see all the boys in there, and you just come rolling. Shawnee comes rolling in, the life of the party.
See, I'm very respectful, so like I didn't do that, and I kind of regret it in a way. But like I like people to have their, I don't want to be bothering them like a mark, So I end up going to check in. As I'm walking by at the bar, big guy, it was Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yep.
It was Jake the Snake. It was RVD. Sergeant Slaughter. Like, you had to see this lineup of guys. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm like, this is insane. And at this point, I really never met any wrestlers because, like, I never went to any meet and greets or anything,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. So I go to my room. And me and my friend, we go, and we're about to go. We hit the elevator, and the elevator opens up, and Rob Van Dam is on the elevator by himself.
Yeah.
Right? And my friend and I just look at each other, and we're like, "Oh my God! Like, should we go in, or like, should we give him his privacy?" So I'm like, come on. So I grab his arm. My friend is frozen in fear. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, Rob, what's up, brother? And he's like, oh, man, if you're going downstairs to the bar, don't even bother. They closed it already. And I'm like, what? It's 12 o'clock at night. What do you mean they closed it? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, it's ruining my buzz. So I'm like, oh my God, this is Rob Van Dam, like the effing show, right? And he was the nicest guy.
He's awesome, yeah.
He was, I was like, can I take a picture with you if you don't mind? And I took a picture with him, and he was telling us like a story before he got out. But like, he couldn't have been a nicer guy, man. Like,
he's a sweetheart.
He was so awesome. And
bro,
I love it.
Can you imagine if here's like when you say like that story at the bar, the first thing I think of, like, if those guys and they're on social media, but I don't think Brett's like on, like, he's on Instagram, I think, and Twitter, and the flair is, but like that instantly, if they like, all I could think about is like if they did a social media video of somebody having the bartender record, and just each one by one, they each come and sit down at the bar and like put cool music and like just like of legends coming and sitting, like let somebody with a little, like if I had that, I could creatively come up with, pick the right music, and like that video would get millions of views on social media. But like,
bro,
they don't care about that stuff as much. But
millions, yeah, they don't care. But yo, millions. And another guy that was there that I didn't watch growing up because I was out. But who's the guy? The Boogeyman.
Yeah, I'm friends with him. He's a very, very good guy, man. Great guy.
I heard he's a great guy. Yeah, he told one of the producer on the Major Pod show. His name is Mark Sterling. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, who he is, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in AEW as a manager, and Mark told this story one time. He did something to piss off the Boogeyman, and the Boogeyman went to him and he goes, "I've been to the dance."
What?
he said, "I've been to the dance," meaning like I've been to like the big time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like who are you? Like I've been to the dance. You know, like who are you trying?
I'm gonna say that I've never used that line, but I'm definitely gonna use that now to somebody.
Yes, and it was the funniest story, man.
I'm gonna
the whole context of it.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna use that if I get upset at somebody, like an operator on the phone, and like they're like putting me on hold, or like I'm gonna like, do you know who I am? I've been to the dance, and just see what they say. Have you Googled me? I've been to the dance, and just see. I'm sorry, sir. Just click, hang up on me.
That would be amazing, man.
I've been to the dance. That's what a great line. What a great line. There's really nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go once you drop that, though. Like if they don't,
you're right. You gotta leave. You gotta leave after that line.
I like to drop every once in a blue moon. I drop with people like with like fees. I've had to, like, if you get like hit with a late fee on something, or like if I really want to get my point across on something, like I've had like on random, like in somebody that have like a bad attitude, and I just very nicely towards the end, and I just go, I just want you to know I'm rich. It's not about the money. It's about the principle. And like, I give them a lecture at the end of it that I go, and look, and like, before I'm going to pay the bill, like, I just want you to know, like, you're not a good human being. Just know this.
You want them to feel horrible.
Yeah, I'm just giving them one little rubbing it in at the end. Like, look, this is horrible. It's not about the money on it. There's people out here struggling with these groceries and this inflation and gas. I'm rich. You're not hurting me by doing that. I just want you to know that. Here's your damn $15. Click.
Oh, that must have ruined some people's days, man. Oh my god!
But you just leave them with that, and like it's just the point. Like, hey, you guys, you're not good. You're not a good human being.
Yeah.
You won't drop that late fee.
Those banks and stuff, like, they don't need those late fees, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like, they make millions of dollars.
I'll tell you that the banks, I haven't had any issues with that in many years. There was a period of time when I lived in Louisville, Kentucky. I was with I quit. It was BB&T, I think it was called. They were it was during the 2008 crash. It went crazy on late fees where they weren't taking money out of my account when I was using it, like my debit card. So, but they were holding on to transactions and putting things through at different times. They were literally manipulating to make you go over when times you shouldn't have gone over, and then hitting like,
go negative.
Yeah, and dude, hitting you with $35 fees for every negative, like for every time. And I remember there was like
I have the same thing. You have I have Chase, and they literally charge me $34.99 if I ever go over that limit.
Dude.
Every transaction.
It's crazy. I left BB&T. I went in there.
Crazy.
I actually, one of them, they refunded a big part of it when they realized what they did. But they had done it for a while, but I just said, I can't trust you guys. I closed up and I switched banks. I never went back.
Yep.
So
yeah, absolutely. That's man, 2008 was such a bad year, man. Like in my industry, especially like with houses and all that stuff. Like I came in right after that, and man, it was so bad. But even saying that it was so bad right now, I have to say is probably almost just as worse, big guy. That's how bad the market is right now.
I've heard everything is
houses.
Vegas is still really good because of everything, the growth here, but it's not as high as it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. Things actually got out of hand.
The house prices are high right now.
Yeah,
because there's what happens is, big guy, this and everybody listening, like the reason why house prices are high and rates are high. So in the history of mortgages, there's never been a time where house prices are high and the rates are high. Never. Usually it's one or the other, right? The rates are high or the house prices are high. Well, when COVID happened, the Fed was allowing banks money at 0% interest rate.
Yeah.
So the rates were at 2-3%. Everybody was buying and refinancing, and it was crazy and wild west. And I've never had so much business in my life. And all of a sudden, about a year ago, rates went up to 6%. Now they're at 7%, and that's because the rates were. They were manufactured low, like they weren't meant to be 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to make up for that, and there's so many buyers, but there's not enough houses and people selling their house because nobody wants to leave a 3% mortgage and go buy it to a 7% mortgage because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
So house prices are at an all-time high. Rates are at not an all-time high because when my parents bought in 1982, they had an 18% mortgage.
Yeah.
So, it's just they're not at an all-time high.
I get calls all the time. I get calls all the time from people asking if you want to sell the house. I literally just tell them I got like a real estate agent will get, and I go no, like, and I know what the house is valued at, and I go here's how I'll sell, and I give them the price, and it's way above with it, and I go and they know it right away, and I go I love my house. I have no intention of leaving under these current circumstances. I go, if you find a family if you find a family that wants my house, they can come visit, not that rate, and then we can talk about it, and we can
talk exactly.
But I'm not going to leave under the current situation like with that my house. Like it's just silly. So, but they call because they need houses. I know the situation on it is like. So it's like, why? No, that makes no sense right now with the way everything is. So we wait and see if it improves.
100%. 100%, big guy. You're smart doing that because then they won't call you again.
Yeah. Jesus, this guy wants 3 times what his house is worth.
They probably saved you under like Maniac.
I go, do you know who you're talking to? I've been to the dance. I go, Vince McMahon owes me $5 million. You think I'm going to sell you my house for market value, you mark? And the guy's just like, has no idea who I am.
I've been to the dance. Bro, that is hysterical.
They have the opportunity of a lifetime to live in the big guy Ryback's house, and they're not willing to pay 3 or 4 times what it's worth. No, thank you.
All right, one more question, big guy, and I'll let you go. I took enough of your time. What are your plans for the weekend, man? You got anything? Nothing personal, but do you have anything good on your weekend?
It is going to be. I have an exciting weekend. It's going to be pretty good, but I do have a lot of shoulder work. I've got to continue to. I cannot tell you something that just happened this morning. I'll tell you off the air.
Don't tell me.
Very interesting developments unfolding here. So. It's crazy actually, and when you hear this, you're going to be blown away by it. But we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you that when the show's over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you could just
have a great weekend, big guy.
YouTube and check on those tank tops. I'm telling you, a 3X tank top. Yes. I will PayPal you the money however we want. Let's get that done.
No, man, don't worry. I'll cover it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for being the man. And man, this show is so good. It just has to explode, man. It has to explode, and I love being on it. And thanks for always being such a gentleman, big guy. I appreciate you,
buddy. This is my psychology, and I'm bringing guys on like you, and I'm going to give you everybody opportunities to come on for long periods of time, to where everybody just feels like they're part of the show, and like the listens just slowly keep climbing. Like, because you're like, this is like, you're on the show, you're becoming a regular. Like, if I could just do this now for the rest of my life, like once every few weeks, get a new guy on, but keep you guys coming on consistently, like throw you a bone just enough to keep you happy. Everybody's just by default feels like it's their show.
I don't feel that way, but I do feel that you're just a good guy in general, and
Thank you,
and I
buddy.
can't wait to meet you in real life and give you a hug, a big guy hug.
That's brother. It's gonna happen at some point here. We'll have a drink.
100%, 100%, man. Have a great weekend. Big
You
guy.
too, buddy. Be safe. All right.
Later, man.
All right.
You too. Later.
Good deal, Shawnee, ladies and gentlemen. Shawnee with the update. Always good to talk to Shawnee. Bring in Brandon. We got Brandon coming on. If you want to call in, guys, at Real Ryback on X Spaces, Twitter Spaces, at Real Ryback today, my backup account. Guys, if you want to call in to be a part of the show. Brandon. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show. We cannot hear Brandon. I don't know. There could be an issue. We will try back. We're going to go Michael. Bring in Michael. Bring in Michael to the Ryback Show. Hello, hello. Michael, you there? Michael, can you hear me? We're having some issues here. It's more of the Twitter's like, oh no, the show's doing better on this account than his 1.35 million account. We literally have just as many people, which is crazy considering this account, you know what I'm saying, has 1,000 followers compared to the 1.35 million. That shouldn't even be possible with it. Let me bring in Primitive. I can't see the name on that. We've got a new caller though here. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm well. How are you today?
Oh, well, I just figured this thing out. This is Primitive Lifeways. I know it kind of cuts the letters off. So.
Yeah, I just got to click on I just said Primitive Lifeways. All right. Is your name Martin?
Yeah, well, my last name is, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I have a YouTube. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel as well. I have a little, getting close to 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, great job, man.
Kind of yeah. I teach primitive technologies, and I work in archaeology in the American Southwest. So it's fun.
You're not is that a little bit different, or is that similar to what Liver King is doing?
Oh God, no, that guy's.
I just watched a video of him eating raw testicles the other day, and I was just like, "Oh man."
Yeah, that's such bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
It's you know, I actually make bows. I do a lot of replications. So I go out in the forest and I cut pieces of wood of juniper, and
oh wow,
I make bows, and I've made bows, you know, as long as a yardstick, and taken elk and deer with them. So they're pretty powerful.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun. And, you know, I like what you're doing with the whole nutrition thing and trying to get people on board, man. It's so important. The reason why people are dying off is, you know, Americans are fat, sick, and unhealthy, and they just got to get off the couch and move and learn how to tap back into our early ancestry. That's, you know,
we do.
Wild plants and gathering from the landscape. So
you're spot on with that. I try to tell people, like, this technology is all great if we have control over it and use it to our advantage. But we have to live in the real world as much as possible and have like human interactions and be like out with nature. Like it's simple. Even in my own yard years ago, when I started planting all the trees, I was like, I recognized, I was like, I need more life around me with this, and like in feeding the birds every day, and like it's very peaceful. And you can't explain it unless you experience it and do it, and like what you're doing and just being out there and using, and just like time, everything slows down, and like you become one with nature in a way where like not everyone has to go to that extreme or do, but like there's a balance with all of this that if we keep going the way we're going overall, we're getting to a point of no return. But it's like, if we have a choice and we can use this stuff to our advantage but still live life as much as possible, we could find a nice little balance there, I hope.
Yeah, I agree. And, I always say our modern culture, the reason why we're so messed up and drugged up is we have nature deficiency disorder. It's a real thing.
Yep. I agree.
And get off the TV and, I hate to say it because I know your background, and get off the wrestling shows and spend time outside, breathe a little bit, you know, and
use that stuff. That stuff used as sparingly as entertainment with control and like here and there is a beautiful, great thing and can add value to life if you can control it. Problem is we live now, we have all these things available that are all addictive to us, that if we don't have that self-control or recognize, and, from the diet to all the advancements in technology, we just have all this stimuli around us and things that where people are just getting addicted and groomed at a young age to multiple things. It's like you're digging a hole so deep. By the time the kids are adults, they're already halfway into their own grave, and they don't even, it's like where they can't even get out of it, so it's scary.
For sure, man. And the crazy thing is you're around my age, I'm around your age, and when I was growing up, we never had these cell phones. I mean, our entertainment was interacting with people in person. And nowadays, when we have these devices, it's crazy. You go around and, you're behind a school bus and the kids get off and you see them just right as they get off, they're staring directly at their phone. And it's like, I don't know, man, it's a different world. But I also wanted to let you know, keep on keeping on, man. I know you're going through some shit with that crazy guy. And, I had a similar situation, and I actually sent you a DM on Instagram, and yeah, man, stalkers and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. People don't understand, like, when before this stuff started happening to me, and probably the same thing to you, is, you kind of live your life and you hear about all these cases with like politicians and whatnot having stalkers, and you're like, it is what it is. It's a politician, they can handle it. But until it happens and it hits home, man, you start feeling for them. You're like, Jesus Christ, now I know what they feel like.
Yeah, for me too, it's like you want to do something about it right away. The thing, and I can't go into detail of what I want to do, but I want to stop everything and I want to go take care of the situation right now, and I want to remove this human being off the planet. Like that's the instinct of me. I can't do that though, because then I will go away. I won't be there.
Like fight or flight.
So it's one of those, you have to let things play out, and this has taken a little bit of time, but everything has now been done, and they and we have it to where they are keeping an eye to where everything is fine, but we have to wait for this all to get processed and go through, which can take a little bit of time on that end as well, with that going through the DA and then that hopefully, and get anywhere between 2 and 15 years, but we have to wait for that to play out and happen. And like, it's crazy, the system, like Twitter, even, Elon, and it bothers me that this guy's allowed to stay on account and keep making accounts. And it's like they did nothing on their end to stop this, and this is all public. And I go, this guy's gonna do time with this, and it's like it's crazy though. But until you experience it and deal with it, like you guys can all hear, like you can just see that you're playing again. You're up against something that isn't dealing with rational thoughts, that doesn't have common sense. Their brain isn't working a normal way with it, and like, it's an obsession that is so unhealthy, and like it's never going to go away. And it's like the police department I was dealing with, and the sergeant, he dealt with the same. He was the one that helped get this pushed through finally, and the sped this up a little bit. He had a similar situation, and he knows he heard that what he goes, this guy, he goes, he needs to be locked away, and like he goes, this is and so that's why, and put in, they're going to do everything in their power to make sure he serves significant time. Because they know this isn't going to go away. Like, this guy's not going to stop. This isn't going to just like, he's not capable of like, hey, I made a mistake. It's been 12 years. We're dealing with thousands of accounts of like on multiple platforms. Jeez. and hundreds. Can you imagine the FBI coming to your house though, and you can breaking down and confessing that you did all of this to them? Like he literally confessed everything to the FBI and said he would never have any contact. Really? Swore he would never have any contact with me again. And literally within hours after the FBI leaving his house, started making fake accounts again. That's
no kidding.
Like, so that's what we're dealing with on this, and doing a voice changer, trying to come onto this show. And like, it's just like, he dug his own grave, but I go, now it's just like, we got to just wait and we got to get him locked up. And like, I don't know if he thinks it's all a joke or thinks he's above the law somehow, or like, it's wild, but it's going to play out, and it's going to happen one way or the other. But it's like, until you experience it, it's like you want to take care of the situation yourself. I would love to just take every item I have, and I got to be careful with my wording because I'm on TikTok, but every piece that I have, I would love to take a little trip to Alabama, and I would love to go handle the situation personally. Unfortunately, with our system, I would end up doing significant time doing that, despite all the evidence of everything. And so you have to go through the proper measures, and it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, with my thing, it was like, I don't want to say too much either, but I had the same feeling. It's like, you know, I could take care of this right now. But instead, like, I'm at the end of the day, I'm just here to do exactly kind of where you're at and defend your personal property. And, you know, I'm in Arizona, you know, we're neighbors, and we're Second Amendment friendly states. And it's like, now everywhere I go, you know, I carry, man. And that's our right. And I have the right to self-defense.
Same. Yeah. You have to.
Yeah. So I also wanted to, and I won't take up too much of your time. I know I got to get going on some things too and get back into the museum for cataloging. But so I understand you like heavy metal music. Have you ever heard of a band called Static X?
Yeah. Oh, brother, I used to listen to them all the time, and still have them on my.
No kidding.
Yeah. I love the band Push It. Push It is one of the. I used to listen to that before high school football games and blare it in my car and drink my Red Bulls and Yellow Jackets before the high school football games. And it's I've always loved Static X.
You'll get a kick out of this. So I was actually friends with Wayne Static before he passed away.
Really?
And he grew up in a small town in California called Joshua Tree. And I've lived there almost my whole life. So, you know, I grew up in Joshua Tree, and the way that I met Wayne was actually in a jury selection. So right as I got out of high school, I got a jury duty letter and went there, and Wayne Static was there. You know, Wayne Static, the lead singer, guy who looked like had the Slim Jim looking hair. So he goes in there, and the judge, you know, we start talking, and the judge says, well, you know, I have a feeling I know who you are. And the judge was just kind of joking around, and Wayne says, well, I've got a tour that I got to go on. And the judge says, well, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. If you give me 2 free tickets to your upcoming show in Los Angeles, I'll dismiss you. He was just playing around, but so we actually connected there, and I met him and became friends with him because he used to take his Bronco. He drove a Bronco, and he used to take it down to Ace Alternators. Bronson Rogers was the owner of that. Bronson and Jeremiah Rogers. So I met him through Ace Alternators, and we used to go off-roading in Giant Rock and Joshua Tree. Really cool guy. And his girlfriend actually did some of the tattooing on my right arm. So I have some music notes on my right arm. I used to be a musician as well. And then unfortunately in 2014, you know, he died and got caught up in some bad stuff with medications, and but super cool guy and really down to earth dude. But you know, I thought I'd bring that up. I know you're a metalhead like that.
No, that's cool, man. There's another song the song Stupid. I don't know the name. I have to look it up after that. I have it on my playlist as well. There's multiple songs I listen to of them though, that was part of my childhood. So that's cool that you got to be around them, man.
Yeah, super cool dude. Just unfortunate, you know, how things went down. But anyway, man, I'll let you get going. It was great talking to you, and keep hanging on with that. I know how you feel, brother.
Thank you very much, buddy. You have a good one. I appreciate you coming on.
You take care, man.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Good deal. Thank you very much. Very cool, man. I remember I get memories. I have flashbacks driving. And I was driving in my little Daewoo Lanos to Palo Verde High School. And I'd be that Blink-182 was another song that there's some songs of them that would come on. But I'd had on my CDs. I'd have my little package of CDs and the packet of CDs. And Static XO was a regular to get pumped up before high school football games. Even baseball, I'd listen to that. Like, good memories. Good memories. Bring on a new caller here. I do have a super chat. Let me actually get to real quick. Captain Murphy, thank you. What's your opinion on CBD workouts? Have you tried it? Yeah, I think a lot of people swear by it, love it. On that, I don't. I think it can. It's hit or miss depending on the individual. I don't mind it at all. I don't notice a huge difference on it, but I do. I have quite a few bottles of it up there, and on a rare occasion, we'll take it. I love the gummies. Callisto has a company with Sasha Banks. They're is it Candela, I believe, and they're gummies. I love those things. I was eating those like candy. Those are really good. Hello. Welcome to the show.
What's up, big guy?
Not much. How you doing today?
Doing great. Calling you from New Orleans, Louisiana. Love the show. I just wanted to ask, I know you traveled all over the world when you were wrestling. How many times have you been in New Orleans, and what's your favorite place down here?
I've been there many times. I remember coming there for WrestleMania when it was the one me and Axel did a tag match, the 4-way tag match where it got put on the pre-show. But I remember being there all week and working out at this big gym downtown. And then we went out to what's the street? The Mardi Gras. What is it? Bourbon Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we had a nice night out there. All the bars, fans were buying us drinks all night. Had a good time. But I remember I'd go eat. I always would get a rental car because I like to like drive away. So the TV hotel was literally downtown and there were fans everywhere. So I would always just get my car and drive off and like go find restaurants to eat at, like, 30, 45 minutes away. And I remember that trip down there. I'd go eat at there was like a payway, like 30, 35 minutes out in the middle of nowhere where it was like really quiet. And I would go eat over there and like just chill out. And I could tell you, like, there's some crazy parts in Louisiana. I think the worst building I've ever been in was is it Shreveport?
Yeah, that's in northern Louisiana.
Yeah, I remember like a really rundown arena there. We've wrestled in quite a bit, but I actually like it. I have pretty good memories of like it's in a different environment, man. Like I'm used to living in Vegas, and like it's crazy. I think of like everywhere I've been. Those like I good memories though of all that. It's crazy. I would just go drive around and like go look at neighborhoods and go drive by people's houses occasionally. I always like stuff like that. If I had free time, I'd go do stuff like that rather than like go go sightseeing. I just go drive through like the streets and see. And I just remember.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's just different, man.
It is.
I've been to many states and even Vegas several times, and everybody compares it to Vegas, and I don't. I mean, I think it's just totally different.
Yeah.
The
completely
only thing
different.
that's similar is the 24-hour drinking. That's probably it.
I could see that if they're talking about like the alcohol part on but it's even the way just the whole, it's an entirely different environment. Maybe there's some similarity in some of the bars with like some of the downtown bars here in Vegas. We've got I could see like a little bit of similarities from Bourbon Street and that, but outside of that, like the actual cities and the environment come night and day.
Totally different. One other question, and I'll let you get going,
big
guy. Can you fill me in on if you're ever I know you probably hear it every day of your life, and I'm sorry to ask you again, but I just don't know because I haven't read it or heard it from you. What's the deal with wrestling? Are we coming back? Do you have plans to come back? Is it in the future? I mean, I know you have all these other things you got going on, but really miss seeing you wrestle, man. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the goal. Right now, I'm trying to hopefully get this Goldberg match if I can get it done for my return. If not, there's a couple other things I would like to see happen. But it's all coming together.
Televised or?
Yeah, hopefully. We've got to sit down and talk and see if we can make this happen. And he very well may have other plans or say no. I don't know with it, but that's the goal right now. And I'm very close to getting cleared. I'm back up to 300 pounds. I feel great. I'm getting ready. I'm kind of training. I'm bulking up to start cutting and getting ready for it's getting closer and closer. I can just tell you that much with everything, regardless. So
if that happens, dude, that's gonna be awesome.
Thank you.
That's a dream match for me to watch. I tell you. And with SummerSlam coming up tomorrow, who's your favorites? Do you have any favorites? Any picks?
As far what was that? I'm sorry. With SummerSlam, you said?
Yeah, SummerSlam's tomorrow. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
On any particular match that you wanted to see, or
yeah, brother, I'm looking for. I think they've got a good card going into that. I'll tell you the ones that, off the top of my head, the matches that I want to see how Logan Paul performs and does against Ricochet. I want to see what's going to happen with the Cody Rhodes Brock Lesnar match. I'm definitely interested in seeing. I want to see what the storyline, what's going to happen with the Roman Reigns Jey Uso match as well.
Oh, yeah,
so those three are probably the three big matchups for me going into that I want to see the storylines, what's going to be happening coming out of those. So.
Yeah, did you see the new documentary on Cody Rhodes?
Not yet. No, I've not watched that yet. So I've heard good things about it.
You really. Yeah, it was really well produced. It touched all bases of his career and life, and very heartfelt. Of course, speaking about Dusty. Yeah. And it's something you need to put on your list of things to do for sure.
Maybe I'll try to watch that. Hell, maybe I'll even put that on tonight if I can and see how long is it? Is it about 90 minutes, 60 minutes?
No, it's actually 2+ hours. It's like maybe a little over 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try to catch half.
That was with ads, of course, because I didn't watch it. I watched it on the network, but I had the commercials. So without the commercial, it'd probably go about 90 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see that. Yeah, I'll put that on my list.
Man, very, very honored to speak to you, and I wish you nothing but well in the future, and I hope you can get that done with that match with you and Goldberg. That would be great, man.
Brother,
nice talking with you, brother, and I'll be listening. Take care.
You too. Thank you very much. Awesome. Pleasure talking to you. Thank you. Always appreciate you guys here calling in. If you guys want to call in at Real Ryback today, usually it's at my Ryback account, but we're doing a little experiment showing people how suppressed my Ryback account is. We actually have more people in here, or just about the same amount of people as we do on my Ryback account with 1.35 million. On this account has about just over 1,000, a little over 1,000 followers. So pretty crazy, which I posted the analytics. You can see the shows, even despite 1 in 10 people tuning in and engaging with the show, which is fantastic, by the way, that they only pushed it out in an under 24-hour period to like 2,500 people, right around that. And then the other day when the show's live, only 1,500 of my accounts, despite this should be going out to 6 figures, really, really easy. And then being able to go up into the 7s with the engagement, and they're not. They are holding this back, and they're holding me back. And this has been going on and going on and going on. And it's happening on all the platforms with it. But that's why I've been able to keep growing my following on a lot of these other things, though. But the numbers, I'm not able to connect with the people following me. And it just slows everything down, and it hurts me. It's all it does. And the longer it goes on, there's nothing can improve, even though my followers keep going up and all that. But the numbers and specifically, they hurt me on the ad revenue with it, because that takes away like sponsorships and different things. This is so deep how far this runs with how bad, and this is why I have to be very outspoken on it with it to fight this, because the truth is going to win on this. But you guys are going to need to see it when it does get fixed, people are aware of the problem, and then it's just going to help me with that. And like you guys are going to see, I never gave up. I never stopped. I fought this all the way through, and I haven't backed down. I haven't let it discourage me or stop me, and we keep moving forward. So bring on, we've got BCW Texas. Bring them on for a question. Hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
There, finally got my mic to work.
How you doing?
Man, any better I'd be twins. Yeah, I tried to get on my other account, and I was having all kinds of technical issues going in and out. So I had to switch over to the official BCW Texas gimmick so I could get on with you.
I appreciate that. What's on your mind today?
Man, not a whole lot. Working on getting some of my shows together. You and I talked a couple of weeks back on here, and we're still working through your stalker gimmick. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna press the issue on that, but I figured I'd at least follow you on this one and get it to where maybe we can get a conversation going, or you can direct me to your agent, or however that's going to work, so we can get you something in the future if it all works out.
Oh, good deal. Thank you. No, we're going to have to wait and see. We're going to see what the options are going to be and what route is going to be possible, and go from there on everything. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got any good stories about ribs that you've done, or you have been done to you?
No, I don't really know. I'm trying to think ribs, anything. I feel like ribs aren't something that are really done this day and age all that much, outside of like little harmless things. But even then, I can't even, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay. That's not not uncommon nowadays. I could share a story about something if you wouldn't mind.
What's it? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, 2013, I was an agent backstage doing a show. It was kind of a super show. Had DDP, Raven, Eugene, Shelton, Benjamin, and Charlie Haas on it, and I was the one that was supposed to be taking care of Eugene and Raven together.
Okay.
And we've got stuff in there, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm talking to Raven, and he said, and I was like, "Is there anything you need?" And he's like, "No, not really. I think I'm good." And I go over to Eugene, and he's like, "You think you can get me an Auto Trader magazine?" I was like, "Okay, that's kind of random." I said, "Are you ribbing me?" And he goes, "No, I don't do ribs." And then Raven over the top of him goes, "Hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you go get me some ribs?"
Did you go get him?
Actually, yeah, he was just joshing with me.
I know. Yeah, they'll do that when they get together.
But that was the funniest story I had. I appreciate all you do. I'm a user of your Feed Me More nutrition stuff. The protein you have is probably the best on the market. I tell everybody. I also drive Uber, so if anybody I ever talk to, I'm right here next to Texas Tech.
Okay.
So anybody that's in the athletic programs, they get in my car and they're talking about wanting to do something, get some protein or whatever kind of supplements. I always try to plug your site for you.
Brother, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Well, anything I can do to help out, because I know you're not getting the help in the social media world.
No, thank you. It's what it takes, and I just try to do the best business possible. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
Let me get off here, and you have a wonderful day, sir.
You too. Thank you very much. You take care. Good deal. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't laugh. I can't, it wasn't, I know it was, it was, I see the comments in the chat room. It was, I get it with everything. No, but it was, yeah, wrestlers will have a good time usually and mess around when they get in groups together with people and whatnot. Super chat here. Shifting gears, the Blazing Kitties, thank you very much. Hi, Ryback. What was your biggest celebrity crush? And if you grew up in the arcade scene, what were your favorite arcade games growing up? Brother, I used to love playing. My dad would take me and my sister to the Arizona Charlies, and he'd go put in his football bets during the summer or the football season or whatever, different times a year, and we'd get to go play in the arcade. And we'd play the Simpsons game, Off-Road, and the Michael Jackson game. Games were multiple players usually with that, but I used to love it when I would do the Off-Road. I think that was a 4-player one on the Off-Road as well. But those are the 3 games I have like childhood memories of playing in the arcade. And then like at Wet and Wild, I remember during like the summers we'd go to Wet and Wild. We used to have such a cool Wet and Wild on the strip here that I wish they never took away. Such a big part of my childhood was there. And like I like all that and being in the lazy river and going on the rides all day. And like then I'd go in the arcade and go play Pit Fighter. Oh, like me and my friends, like such good memories of all that arcade wise. As far as my biggest celebrity crush, I have I think everybody, Kelly Kapowski, Saved by the Bell. Kelly Kapowski, what a looker she was. And then when Beverly Hills 90210, when she showed up and she was like all grown up and a little bit evil. Oh man, brings back great memories. We're gonna go with Kelly Kapowski. I feel like that's a lot of people are gonna have that answer for my generation. Old Kelly Kapowski. Great question. We'll bring on another caller here. John Pena. Bring on John. Yeah, Pit Fighter was awesome. John, welcome to the Ryback Show. Is John in the shower? I can't tell if that's static or running water. I can't hear John. I don't know what the deal is with some of the people.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, wait, I almost just removed you. I can hear you now. There, you showed up.
Okay, yeah, I took my earbuds out. I had headphones in. I guess the mic might not be working.
Twitter Spaces has some weird things on this. That's good to know. So if you have earbuds and you might not be able to, that's good to know for people in case they're having difficulties. I could suggest that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call in. A long-time listener, first-time caller. I work at a bank, so I sneak my headphones in and listen while I'm at the office.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I figured today would be a good time to call. I've been sick with COVID for the last 5 days, so I'm home calling in.
I hope you're doing all right, feeling all right. You towards the end of it, you think?
Yeah, definitely towards the end of it. This is like day 5 or 6, so I should be good to go soon.
Good deal. No, I hope you're over that here quickly. I only had it once, like in 2021. It was a little under a week, but I remember I lost my sense of taste and smell got messed up there, and breathing was a little messed up for a couple days.
Yeah, it's like this is my second time having it. Luckily, never lost my taste or anything or smell, but yeah, you hear crazy stories about people losing it for like years and stuff. But
I can't even imagine. Like, what a crazy just. That would drive me crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. And I got my wife and I. We have a 10-month-old son, so I've been isolating from him, and that's just heartbreaking. I walk to go to the bathroom, and he comes crawling to me as fast as he can, smiling, and then I can't pick him up. It's a killer. But
I hope you're over this here really quickly.
Yeah, I think this is the end of it. I should be able to go back to work Monday and everything should be good.
Good deal.
But I just wanted to say, I really love the show. It's always entertaining, it's informative. You guys always make me laugh. Your conversations. Shout out to Shawnee. He's always making everyone laugh on here.
He's great, brother. I enjoy having him on. He's a high spot on this show.
He really is. He knows how to make my day. I know him from Hawkins and Riders Facebook group.
Okay.
You know, we became friends. We became friends on there, and he's just such a genuine guy. Always making people smile. You know, really caring and just naturally funny, like you said, like a Chris Farley type. And
he is, brother. He's doing. I love him. He's being joking, but doing car washes or going down the street hyping up this Goldberg match. He's going the extra mile for me right off the bat.
Right. It cracks me up. And he always, you know, he's got that infectious laugh that just, you know, it's awesome to hear you guys talk and have a conversation. You know, he knows how to carry a conversation. And ask
he's great. Yeah.
Like that.
He definitely, he's entertaining. And people, I can tell people enjoy him coming on. So I don't mind him. I like letting him on every day because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the second thing, I got a quick little story. So one of my relatives was getting married. This was years ago, and we got a hotel because it was a few hours away, and we didn't want to drive back late at night. So we got a hotel, and so the next day we're packing up, you know, loading the car up, and I'm walking out of the hotel, and I'm wearing a Roman Reigns T-shirt, and I hear someone say, "Hey, where's your Hungry shirt?" And I turn around, and it was you in your truck. You pulled up. And, you know, I go, "Oh, man, this is awesome." I was like, "Can I get a picture?" And you're like, "Yeah, I got to get to a couple towns over for a show, but, like, come around and take a picture." And so I came around and got a quick picture. And I just want to say how much I appreciated that.
Wait, where was this at?
Taking your time. It was in Illinois. I don't remember what the city was, but I'm from Illinois. And I want to say it was probably closer to Southern Illinois, maybe.
Was it after? Wait, where was it? Were we at after a show or?
I'm not sure. It must have been. I don't know if it was. So it probably would have been like a Saturday or a Sunday. And I remember you saying you had to get to a couple towns over, and but you let me take a picture, and I just thought that was the coolest thing, and I always appreciated that.
I would routinely, like, if I was driving or like, that's why I'm trying to see if I could remember. I would do that if I saw somebody that'd have a Feed Me More shirt. I'd go, "Hey," and like try to shock them and surprise them, like. I would just do random things. So like when you're telling this, I go, I know I definitely did this. Cause like I would sometimes just do that, like, or like mess with people, like in a good way. Like, yeah, that sounds like something I would do. So
yeah, definitely. And
I thought you were going to say though, that I like said no and drove away. And I was like, oh man. I don't share that one. No, but it's always good. So I'm just waiting to the day somebody tells a horrible story of like, something I can't remember, like, wait a second, did I do that?
Right. No, I thought that was the coolest thing. I mean, for you to take the time to do something like that, you know, and to give me a memory and a story to tell people, you know, it's just, I really appreciate that. And fans love stuff like that, you know, make me a fan for life, you know, and it was a really cool thing.
John, well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you sharing that. It's good to hear back and hear things like that. And I thank you very much for listening all the time.
Yeah. And one other quick thing, if you got the time.
Yep.
So I'm a big guy. I played football my whole life from 6th grade through college. 6'6". My playing weight was about 320 to 340.
Oh, man.
That was when I was in my best shape. You know, I played offensive line, and, you know, I ate. My diet was pretty good. You know, I still ate the junk food, but I was maintaining and sometimes still losing weight just with all the exercise and all the calories burned at practice and everything, you know. So, but once I graduated and my playing career was done, you know, I stuck with the gym a little bit, but my diet wasn't as good, and I chose more convenience over, you know, meal prep and stuff like that. And you know, I realized quickly, you know, the more if you keep that same diet and you don't keep up with the exercise, you know, the pounds add up and it comes quickly, you know. And over the years, you know, I got a little more lazy and I stopped going to the gym, and I just wanted to come home after work. I was tired, you know, and then we had the baby, and I just wanted to come home and be with the baby. And so I'm at my heaviest now at 404. And, you know, I'm not like, I mean, I'm out of shape for sure, but, you know, I still like going to the gym and all that, and I want to get back to it. And, you know I just got to get into the routine and, you know, maybe wake up early and do it early in the morning before work or something, just cram it in. But I was wondering if you had any advice for like diet or any supplementation. You know, I used to do some pre-workout. I used to love that. But now, you know, at my size, and I just worry about my heart and stuff with certain things like that. And I know for sure the diet is the number one thing I got to get under control. But if you had any suggestions or anything.
Oh, so I'll tell you what my suggestion is, and I think this will help you. So one, here's where I think you can make the biggest change. And I don't know how much sleep you normally get, but we do have, if you have any issues getting to sleep at a good hour, we have a very good product, the GTS Go to Sleep. This is this is an MVP formula, and this has helped me. I take it an hour before bed. Like when I take the full serving an hour before I'm about ready to go to bed. Sometimes hour 15, hour and a half. I could hang on a little bit and fight it off a little, and then but I go lie down. I fall right to sleep, and I get up early, 4 or 5 something every morning, no alarm clock, and I go. So if I were you, and if you could sleep, if you don't need a sleep formula thing, that's fine with that. You got to get to bed at a good hour with that, and get your sleep to where you can get through the day and feel good, ideally between 6 to 8 hours. The closer everyone's a little different on that, on what they exactly need. But I think you need to, so this is what happens to people is it's the power of being hungry. It's life has changed a little bit. Your priorities have changed. Before you had football, you had something that you trained, that you did, that was a part of your everyday life that got removed from your life with it. And so that level of motivation and that hunger that you had to perform and do things, and the structure that you had in your life, part of that went away. And so what happened is then the weight comes on, and then you kind of, your new normal, a year goes by, 2 years goes by, 3 years goes by. And then you got yourself in a little bit of a hole where you're not where you were before, but you have similar things still. And you have the same, deep down, if you could just get going, you can get back on track. You need to prioritize. And I think you said it yourself. I think you need to get to bed at a certain hour and get up early and knock that workout every day. I think you got to make that a part of your life, and convince yourself that whether it's you're training for the health to be there with your family and have a long life for them, whatever it is that you have to tell yourself to get that power of being hungry back to the level that it was, or close to what it was. And then in having that back in your life, you're going to have more of a reason to improve your diet, because you're going to be putting in the work that you're not going to want to waste.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, because now it's like, if you're like, this happens to a lot, if you see athletes all the time, and this is one of the reasons I tell people I've been obsessed with my cardio and my training being away from wrestling, because I know that that's when you lose that, you lose your confidence over time. And that's the hardest thing for athletes to get back. It's to get back into the shape and get that mental confidence that they had at their prime or at their peak when they were competing. And so I've kept my training higher than even it was, so that I wouldn't lose that, because I didn't want to lose all this to begin with. But I could tell people, like, you have to just get some structure back with it. And that's going to give you more motivation to eat a little better with it. Whereas if you don't really have any specific goals with that, one day you're like, I could have a pizza today. I don't have anything going on. And but what happens is your willpower starts diminishing over time, because you're making bad decisions routinely, and those bad decisions become your new normal. So now you've got to really look at this. You go, damn it, I need to lose 100 pounds, or I want to lose 100 pounds or 80 pounds, or, maybe you just start off and you do it 10-pound increments. You go, but I need to make some changes. I think it starts with getting to bed at a good hour and getting up and getting that routine, that workout in first thing in the morning with that. And then moving forward with that, then you could add some supplements in over time, and things like that, and get your weight start coming down. But I think that is where I would start.
Yeah, definitely. That totally makes sense. And like you said, with the motivation, my family, and I also coach high school football here. So just being out there and, not being winded doing one drill with the kids, that's something that I like.
But your energy is going to improve too, because when you're not, and here's why you can't do it at the end of the day. You've got too much else going on. That, and with your current level, you've got to start working out, and you got to start making better nutrition choices. What's going to happen is you give your body better micronutrients and eat less processed food. your energy levels are going to start increasing. There's no reason that you, like, I have energy from the morning of the day to the night. And it's like, and I go and do things. I do my hard workout, my sauna, and I should be spent and drained, and I shower and I'm ready to go. Like, so I know, I'm telling you from experience, if you start making better choices, the energy levels are going to start increasing, and you're going to see, you get that workout done at the beginning of the day. Hey, there might be points in the day where maybe you're going to have a little moments of being sluggish and whatnot, but that's going to start going away the more that you do this. And then you're going to see, you're like, holy hell, I have so much energy. You're going to be like a whole different person, 6 months from now, if you consistently do that.
Right. Yeah. That's huge. The energy thing, that's something I miss, from back in the college days.
Yeah.
8 years ago or whatever, it's crazy how much that changes by now, like you said, I'm just beat by the end of the day and I'm just feeling lazy. But yeah, I definitely just got to get those first couple of weeks out of the way and just be consistent with it. Like you said, that's huge. And no excuses and just get in there and get it done.
Yeah. And, you too, like having caffeine is okay with it, but, like caffeine, and typically for most adults, most people, it's keeping it at 400 milligrams or less per day with that. And like, in doing it and divided, not trying to do all a huge amount at once. And I found, like, I do my pre-workout, I do half a serving in the morning and half a serving right after this show. I do it before I go to the gym, usually my half a serving, and I put my Pumplexity in there with it. But I have a non-stim pre-workout as well called the Pumplexity that has just the pump formula and beta alanine that helps with workout performance, but it doesn't have any of the stimulants as well. But you can have coffee or different, have something, at select morning and afternoon, or where you feel like your 2 points of the day that you need the most energy. There's nothing wrong with, putting 150 or 200 milligrams of caffeine or having a coffee or something at those 2 points. That's actually very healthy for most people with that and doing that. And so you like little things like that, you add in to give you that little boost when you need it as well. But the big thing is going to be is getting that, like, looking at food as energy, because life is energy, food is energy. So you want to make as many good choices as possible. And I tell people all the time on the show, like, really separating your carbs and fats is like, it's life changing. Like, when you actually start doing it, like, so you either have protein and fats or protein and carbs, and you're going to have a little bit of carbs and fats at each meal. Usually you can't always have it at zero, but you want to keep that number as low as possible, as much as possible. And like, your body just starts, like, cool things just start happening when you do that as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I really look forward to getting started doing this and, hopefully being consistent with it and keeping it up. I'll definitely look into those supplements you got on your site. I've always checked it out. I never pulled the trigger. So, and maybe doing that, that'll keep me motivated,
That's a big thing for a lot of people. That's where supplements and things like supplements work. And like, but I always will tell people, and like make the changes you need to make, in structurally with the day and the diet and the getting up and working out and those things. That's exactly what they can do. They can add a level of motivation for people as well and different things. And it's like an investment into yourself that you're like, okay, I'm going to spend this on this and I'm going to follow through with this. It's something to help stay consistent with your goals, to help you reach your goals with that. And I'll tell you, like, go a couple weeks without it first and see if you can get do it. Then, like, okay, now I could add this in, and like that way you know that you could do it, and it's you doing it too. But yeah, that stuff is there to help if you need it, man.
Right, for sure. Well, thank you so much for taking my call and for all the advice. And keep up the great work. Keep pushing for that match. I'm excited to see you versus Goldberg. It's going to be awesome. I've been a huge fan, ever since. So keep up the great work, and thanks very much.
You're welcome, John. You have a great day and feel better, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good deal. Thank you, John. I always appreciate the support from all of you guys. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap up today's show. I've got to do a feeding time later as well. I've got to do a big training session. Got to do a lot of work. I got to make a few phone calls as well here with everything. Check out my Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com, guys. You get a free shaker bottle with your orders. Returning customers can save 20%. All customers can save 20%. Discount code FEEDME20, FEEDME20 on feedmemore.com right now, guys. We got all the Ryback merch. And oh, by the way, I forgot to say it earlier, guys. I've got to go put it. Brain Feed is about to be back in stock. It should be delivered today to fulfillment. I've got to shoot the message over. The brain feed should be back on the website and hopefully the next hour. It's one of the things I got to do right after this show. Brain feed is finally back in stock, ladies and gentlemen, on everything. So thank you for your patience on all of that. And I completely forgot I was going to say that at the beginning of the show with all of that, but thank you guys for all the love and support with everything. Let's have a great one. Have a great weekend and work hard, be safe, be nice to people as much as possible. Don't put up with any BS. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Hey, Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications for the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch. Visit feedmemore.com.